Hey, what's up guys, aarava here, and welcome back to an episode of my F1 2019 Manager Career Mode here, Motorsport Manager, and we're back for the very start of Season 2 then. We're on the back end of Season 1, we have a few final emails to go, and then we'll get on and designing our brand new car that will hopefully take Sebastian Vettel and Daniel Ricciardo, our two drivers, into a championship fight. Here's hoping in Season 2, of course, but we have to wrap up the loose ends at the end of Season 1, and then actually make our car and see how good it can get. And also, I'm going to try and design it with a bit of a difference. Obviously, this is our car looks right now. That was the Season 1 look. I'm going to go for something a little bit different in Season 2, trying to make it a little bit different, because it's a bit of a new era for the team. Hopefully, we'll be fighting at the front for race wins, knock on wood, with Sebastian Vettel and Ricciardo. So let's get into it then. Final few emails. Ironically, actually, Vettel's emailed us saying, I can't thank you enough for giving me such an amazing car this season. That's because technically, obviously, we signed Vettel at the last race of Season 1. If you missed last episode, check it out. But basically, I signed Vettel after he was mathematically the champion already, but the game doesn't give you the championship until the end of the season. So technically, Vettel's won the championship whilst being a Renault driver, even though he mathematically won it with the Ferrari team. So, bit of a weird one. Either way, he gets a new personality trait, boosted marketability, morale, mechanic relationship, and chairman happiness there by having the championship in his belt. And obviously, the trophy, well, it goes to him, but technically, we can claim it because, well, it says here, look, Renault Sport F1, the champion, so there you go. But we're going to move on then. We have, obviously, the end of the season to go. We have the prize money to, divvy out, and then any kind of last emails, basically, before we get on to actually making our brand new car. So here we go, then. The last few emails, then. Prize money for, it says 2016 season, but ignore that. Obviously, it's a 2019 mod, but in the game, there's no way to change the database from a 6 to a 9. But it is the 2019 season we just did, of course, with the 2019 mod. We get a cool 64.7 million there added on to. Already we saved up 37 million. We did a very good job at saving quite a lot there, and so that's a good pot to play with there. That's going to be 102 million, over 100 million to spend on a brand new car. Manager of the season is going to go to myself, aarava Archer. Obviously, if you guys don't know the Easter egg of why my surname's Archer, then you clearly haven't been watching Motorsport Manager on my channel for a long while, but there's a little Easter egg in there for you. And then driver of the season is Sebastian Vettel. Obviously he drove most of the time in Ferrari, but he's now one of our drivers. So thank you very much for saying we've got the driver of the season there. So we're now going to move forward then into, well, I guess the pre-season phase, really. We've got some sponsors here. The new rules are activated. The real safety car only. So remember that. Now, going to Season 2, no more virtual safety car. So if there is any kind of incident and the safety car is going to get sprung, it'll always be the real safety car. So it'll bunch up everyone. And then promotions and relegations. This year, ART have been promoted into Formula 1. Williams get relegated. So with this mod, we've still allowed relegations and promotions just to keep it kind of interesting there. So ART are now an F1 team, and Williams are a Formula 2 team. So that's quite funny. Actually, quite cool to see ART as a Formula 1 team. And then meanwhile in Formula 2, Macon get promoted from Formula 3, and then Russian time drop to Formula 3. We've also got some sponsors here. We've only got 2 though right now, so I'll wait. We've got YouTube and Hugo Boss. I want to say it should be quite fitting we have YouTube as a sponsor, seeing this is a YouTube series, but they don't actually offer too much money. Almost like YouTube in a way. So there you go. But I'll wait a little bit and wait for the third sponsor to kind of come into play, because that's definitely going to be... There we go. Third sponsor. Now we can do it. So we've got Banco do Brazil. So we've got a fixed payment there. I'd rather take the fixed payment, because right now we've got... What is it? Ray-Ban? Is it? Yeah, Ray-Ban is our kind of, question mark of, how much money we get if we get 15th or above. So I'd rather go with the fixed payment, to be honest. And out of these 3, it's the second middle. It's the middle sponsorship. It's more than YouTube give us, but it's less than Hugo Boss. But Hugo Boss is also a Target one. I've already got one Target sponsor, so we'll go with Banco do Brazil, 464k. Accept that offer. So in total, we'll be getting 2.1 million per race, which is pretty damn awesome. Add on an extra 300k for getting the Ray-Ban sponsorship, so that'll be a cool nearly 2.5 million per race. That'll be very, very nice. So we're going to move on then. We've got some emails about unemployment. Takuma Sato is unemployed at the moment. They're shifting careers, apparently. So let's see if someone snaps him up there. And we're going to go on to the pre-season then. And this is when we design our brand new car, our brand new Challenger for Season 2 of this career mode. Here we go. Design next year's car. We get 20 million because we squirreled away some money, because I did fat stacks, remember, on the financing, so I forgot about that. So we actually get over 120 million to play with. That is absolutely amazing. Obviously, engine supplier, I can only go with Renault engines. It wouldn't make any sense to go with anything else, you know, Honda, Mercedes, Ferrari. So we have to go with these, but we get a choice of the normal Renault engines or the Renault Sport Plus, obviously with the factory team, so I'd like to think we're going to go with that anyway. Very strong on fuel efficiency, approvability, plus 20 of the base stat. It's a no-brainer there. Obviously, we're going to go with the Renault Sport engine fuel supplier. Let's have a look at this. So what did we go with last year? I want to see what we got given last year. Last year, we got given Castrol, because obviously last year, the AI did the car for me, and you start with the car you get given. So is that what we went with? Discounted price, apparently. Original price was 4 million, discounted by 7%. Okay, we could go with that. I think that almost is the best one to go for, because we've got very strong improvability, but we've got this is weak and very weak. So you know what? I might go for Castrol, just have the discounted price. At the moment, fuel efficiency is at 4.5 stars. Improvability, 3 stars. We still have some, obviously, chances to improve that as we choose our material supplier and whatnot. So material supplier, we went with the D-spec supplier, which is not great. We can go with A-spec, 15 million. And that will that make much of a difference from D-spec? Yeah, it will do. So tire heating's worse, though, because it's a very strong and very weak. So I'll have to look into that. So for now, I'll choose A-spec. For the brake supplier, last season we went with Brembo. This year, well, let's see. Tire wear, I might go with Brembo as well, to be fair. I might go Brembo again, because if I go Magneti Marelli, that is 3-star tire heating, 3.5 tire wear, and then the battery supplier, I went with, well, default was this top one. I kind of like that. Starting charge, we get a higher one with this, but I kind of liked the kind of middle way harvest efficiency, to be honest. So that will be 2.28. Total cost 49. I spent 44 million, apparently, or the AI spent 44. Now, let's tweak this a little bit. Is there any way is that going to really make much of a difference? Not really. So I'm going to play around with this and see what we can go with here. So if I go to D-spec, that gets us tire heating at 4.5 or 4 1/3. If I then move the brakes to Brembo, we then move that down to 4-star and 3-star. Now that's compared to if I went with 3-star, 4-star. If I go with this, that is a 3.5-star, 3-star. Really, in reality, the better one was D-spec and then Brembo, because then you get a 3-star, 4-star. And tire wear, was it much of an issue for us last season? I don't really think so, to be honest. Having a look at Castrol and Petronas, if we go for Petronas, we get 3.5-star improvability, and we only go down by 0.5 star on fuel efficiency. So I think I gain. It's debatable. No, you know what? We'll go with Castrol, because I want the discount there. And to be honest, improvability 3-star. I think that's what improvability was last year. I'm finding it tough though to know what to go with here, because A-spec seems the way to go, because it's strong. That seems like a no-brainer. But then brake supplier is so weird, because there's no middle ground anywhere. So I can't, it's very tough to choose. Because if I go, with Bosch, then I go up to 3.5 tire heating, 3 on the tire wear, go up to 4-star tire wear. There's obviously the chance I can improve the tire heating in the pre-season process. So I'm kind of banking on that in a way to help us, because I feel like we go Magneti Marelli, all we do is lose 0.5 star on tire wear, and we gain more than 0.5 star, like 3/4 of a star on tire heating. And so I feel like that might be the way to go. And then hopefully we can improve the tyre wear and tyre heating later on in the season, maybe. I can also sacrifice a bit of fuel efficiency for tyre wear. So if I do that, no, it doesn't actually change the physical nose height, because the mod obviously keeps the car looking the same. And then the race package is not really much here. If I go improvability, probably. And so it's a little bit off tyre heating. I think that's the way I'm going to go about it. So we're going to spend 5 million more than we did. But remember, all of this stuff this is important for where the car is in terms of the estimated output. But obviously, the work we did last season on the base stats of the risky parts, that is also going to factor into it. And that's something you can't see on this screen. So you got to be happy with that. And basically, there's no other way I can go about it. You know, beggars can't be choosers. I can only choose from these. And so I feel like I've picked the best ones that I want, basically. I like the battery, how it worked last season for us in our car. So I'll go with that same one. 40% starting charge. Half its efficiency, 72. Yeah, we're going to spend 5 million more, basically, to improve the chassis material. Everything else will be pretty much the same, apart from, we are changing Magneti Marelli, but that's only a 2 million difference, and we get obviously a discount on the Castrol fuel. So, yeah, I'm going to go with that. So we're going to spend 49.7 million on the car. And then remember, there'll be hopefully chances to improve the car via emails and dilemmas before we actually get to pre-season testing. And then also, basically this means we've just got a lot of money to invest in terms of upgrades and maybe our HQ as well. So let's look into that as well. So that's our new car being built. I think we should look into HQ upgrades maybe, because at the moment our performance is weak. So let's look at all the performance stuff. You know, we've only got Epic Engine. So what else were we really lacking last year? I feel like maybe gearbox is something we can look at into, or maybe even the rear wing or suspension perhaps. So let's see, you know, telemetry center, that improves the gearbox. Upgrade of 6 million. I think, you know, we can drop 6 million right now and that'll be fine. So let's upgrade the HQ, gearbox, and also I think I want to go for suspension perhaps. Wind tunnel is going to be the front wing. Brakes and R&Ds. The brakes, obviously. Simulators, the rear wing. What else are we missing? Test track is the engine. We could go for an legendary engine maybe to really rocket us to the front. New buildings. Road factory just gets us some money. Theme park. Upgrade. Okay, here we go. Now I can see what this gives us. Brakes. Suspension. There we go. Handling development. 8 million. 8 million on suspension. I think worth it. 18 weeks as well for that. So we'll spend on that. 58 million. So we got 2 HQ upgrades. I think that's good enough for now. So let's take pause. 2 upgrades to the HQ. That's cool. And now we'll go forward and see if there's any dilemmas to improve the car even more. Right, here we go. We've got a fuel supply breakthrough. ART of Sun Verline, apparently. Right, we've got a +1 on fuel efficiency. So right now our car is fuel efficient of 4 and a bit stars. If we purchase that, we get a full 5-star on fuel efficiency. I'm going to do that, improve our chances. 2.5 million down the drain, but that's going to improve by quite some way. Hopefully, keep them coming. Keep the dilemmas coming. I want some more improvements on our car. Right, we've got tyre simulations here. +1 on tyre wear. So at the moment our tyre wear is 3.5. We add this one on, will be 4.5. Thank you very much. 2.5 million done. 53 million still left. So we got still a lot of budget here. So our car is going to improve. There we go. Really nice. Looking very, very nice. The only thing I need left is tyre heating, hopefully. But I think we're in January now. 17th of January. So I don't know if we'll be able to improve that, to be honest. But let's just have a look. Right, it's time to design our livery here then. So let's get to work. I'll get to the paint job. And hopefully we'll have a bit of a striking new look car compared to last season. Alright, here we go. There's not too many great liveries to really choose from the workshop. Because a lot of them are a little bit broken when it comes to being on the car. And so it's a little bit limited, I will fully admit. So, but to be fair, I mean, you got to admit as well, how much do you really have a look at the car whilst it's in the race? Like, you can't even really see it properly when it's zoomed out. So what we've gone for is, it's the design, I believe, that's based off the Mercedes car, basically, because you've got, like, the Petronas swooshes. Kind of fits in kind of almost well with, you know, becoming a top team. We're kind of, you know, mimicking the livery of one of the top teams. But, yeah, so basically it's kind of like yellow/gold on the baseline, then the rest of it's all just black trim and then white sponsors, because no other sponsor color really works with it. Yeah, I mean, ignore the 77, that's obviously Bottas's number, that comes with a livery, but I like it. From afar, this is going to look like a smooth, slick livery, so I like it. You know, it kind of goes in the tone of what this season needs to be, you know, smooth and slick, and hopefully right at the front. Got Press HQ to visit. This is either going to have a morale decrease for Ricciardo. Team marketability up, though. Marketability right now is what? Team is 91%. So we have a 5-star sponsor appeal. We've got Infinity running out of our sponsorship. So that could be quite handy when we come to that, of trying to get a better deal there. So at the moment, morale is at, well, what's Ricciardo's morale at? Let's have a look then. His morale, driver details, is at, well, it's okay. You know, he can afford to lose 10 on the morale, so let's do that, and let's get some marketability. So there we go. The new car design is pretty much complete. We've got Formula 1 braces for the pre-season testing. Let's do it. Pre-season testing. Start testing. Let's see. Hopefully the morale of Ricciardo doesn't go down any worse, and let's see the pace of our car then. Quite promising to see Ricciardo up in the top 3. No issues for our car so far. Engine apparently not delivering full power for Fernando Alonso in the Ferrari. That is, well, that's quite ironic, isn't it? The Ferrari of Alonso is not delivering power. There's a 28% positive morale for Ricciardo. 0 for Vettel, but his just remains high. So that's all good. So no problems for our car in pre-season. That's very, very promising. I'm actually now going to look through the entire grid then, guys, and give you a bit of a preview of Season 2, see what the driver transfers were like, and see if anyone signed anyone good. Targets for this season are 1st, 3rd, or 5th. Well, we said 3rd. He's predicting 3rd as well. We could go for 1st and get more money, but I don't know. Finance-wise, 2.1. It could be nice to get more payments from the chairman, but it also puts massive pressure, massive pressure on us to perform. So I just don't know about that. So I'm going to say, well, you know what? Screw it. We're going for 1st. I want to go for 1st. Let's say 1st. If it means I get fired halfway through, so be it. We'll add some fire to the series by really putting the pressure on. We'll go for 1st place, targeting that 4.08 per race million then in budget. The car is now looking good. It is built. Let's straight away look at some parts. Let's improve some parts as well, because we need to improve the reliability of everything. So let's put on the brakes, usually fail. The engine, the gearbox usually fails, and suspension is pretty weak. The wings are easier to replace. So let's go on that. In terms of our maximum then, let's have a look. 1,143, looking good. Overall, you can see the engine upgrades we made were very good. Our engine's the 2nd best on the grid now, only behind Ferrari. So the base stats that we improved, I mean, look at that. I mean, our best part of the car is our engine, basically. But overall, we're apparently still 4th in terms of the best car on the grid. So we have some way to go. We need to improve the brakes, the front wing, and the suspension. Rear wing's okay, I guess. I think brakes are the biggest one, so let's straight away get working on that. So brakes, let's go for, well, we're just doing iterations at the moment, aren't we? So I don't know. I mean, we can still use these brakes, to be fair. So let's go 500,000. That's going to take 4 days, so very, very quick. I'm also going to go ahead and probably invest in the brakes to get an epic one. So 10 million, 15 weeks. Yeah, let's spend that. So we're going to be down to 43 million in terms of our budget. That's fine by me. Upgrading HQ. We have 3 HQ upgrades on the go then. That's very cool. So brakes are going to get done right now. So we've got a report on the upcoming race. So that means the race is pretty soon, actually. So let's pause this for a second. So we got those new brakes. Let's design another set of brakes. Do plus 20 and then... Oh, actually, could we do... plus 20 to max. Ooh, that's plus 20. Ooh, build time plus 2 days. That's fine. And then do that. So that'll get done 2 days after the race. That's fine by me, though. 600k added on. And so on that note, let's pause this for a second. We will stop improving these brakes, add those brakes on, add the performance to that, but still keep on playing away on the performance. But on this note, let's have a quick look then at all the teams. So let's go all the way to Sauber. So Sauber have Raikkonen and Giovinazzi still as their main drivers. Callum Ilott as the reserve driver. We move to ART, the brand new team in Formula 1. They've got Pascal Wehrlein, Jack Aitken, and T. Villander. So, I don't know. I would assume maybe they have Aitken and Wehrlein as the main drivers, but it looks like Aitken's maybe the reserve driver in ART. We move to Red Bull, still Verstappen and Gasly there with Dan Ticktum and Newey. We've got McLaren still with Norris and Carlos Sainz. Mercedes retain Hamilton, but they've also got Ocon there now. I think he was already there before, perhaps as a reserve driver, but I don't know. Let's see if Ocon turns up as the guy actually driving maybe for them versus Bottas. Force India still have Perez and Stroll. Obviously, they're Racing Point now. Toro also have Hartley and Kvyat. So Hartley's come back. Albon has, I guess, been sold away. So it's Kvyat and Hartley now. So Hartley gets I don't know, a lifeline in Formula 1, I guess you could say. Obviously, we have Ricciardo, Vettel, and Chadwick. Haas have Grosjean Magnussen still, with Calderon as their reserve. Ferrari retain Alonso, so they have Alonso, Leclerc, and Fuoco. And then you go to Formula 2. So that is it. So no major driver transfers apart from the last one we had, which was Fernando Alonso in Ferrari and Vettel to Renault. So here is our car. We've got another brake set on the mend, but that is going to be the end of this episode, guys. Going to tease you to hell and teaser Season 2. So next episode will be the actual start of Season 2 with race number 1. Our engine's fantastic. The rest of the car is still a bit iffy, so I don't know quite if we have the championship, pedigree yet, but I've set myself the target of going for the championship this season with my chairman. So if I don't get it, I guess I'll get fired later on in the season. So we've got to fully send it with Vettel and Ricciardo this year. So there we go. So if you guys have enjoyed the episode, be sure to hit that like button. Let me know in the comments below. Do you guys think I can actually win the championship this season, or do you think I might be in danger of getting fired now this season because of what I said to the chairman? Let me know in the comments below. If you are new around here, do subscribe for weekly Formula 1 content. I am an aarava. Have a good day. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.